Welcome to SS2 Civic Education. This lesson covers good governance, with a focus on transparency and accountability, two core principles without which government cannot serve citizens effectively. Understanding these principles equips you to demand better governance as a citizen. Governance refers to the processes, systems, and institutions through which authority is exercised and public decisions are made and implemented in a country. Good governance is governance that is effective in delivering services and development, accountable to citizens, transparent in its operations, responsive to citizens' needs, equitable in treatment of all citizens, inclusive of diverse voices, and guided by the rule of law. The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, identifies 8 characteristics of good governance: participation, rule of law, transparency, responsiveness, consensus-oriented, equity and inclusiveness, effectiveness and efficiency, and accountability. When governance is poor, when leaders are corrupt, elections are rigged, public resources are stolen, and citizens have no meaningful voice, development stagnates and poverty deepens. Nigeria's governance challenges have been central to the country's failure to translate its enormous natural and human resources into sustained development. Transparency means that government operates openly, decisions, spending, and policies are made visible to citizens. A transparent government publishes its budget and shows how public funds are spent. It makes decisions through clear, public processes rather than secret deals. It discloses information about procurement and contracts. It ensures that government officials publicly declare their assets. Laws and regulations promoting transparency in Nigeria. The Freedom of Information Act 2011, FOIA, gives every Nigerian citizen the right to request and receive information held by government agencies. This includes budget documents, contracts, procurement records, and decision-making records. The Government Integrated Financial Management Information System, GIFMIS, tracks government spending electronically and makes financial data available. The Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption, PACOC, promotes transparency in executive operations. The Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, ensures transparent and competitive bidding for government contracts. Challenges: low compliance with the Freedom of Information Act. Government agencies frequently delay or deny legitimate information requests, contractor capture of procurement processes. Accountability means that those who hold power must answer for how they use it, to citizens, to the law, and to independent oversight bodies. Forms of accountability in a democracy: vertical accountability, citizens hold politicians accountable through elections, voters remove leaders who fail and elect those who deliver. This requires regular free and fair elections, civic education, and active voter participation. Horizontal accountability, institutions within government check each other. The legislature holds the executive accountable through appropriations, oversight hearings, and impeachment. The judiciary holds all branches accountable to the Constitution through judicial review. Independent institutions like the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, hold public officials accountable for corruption. Social accountability, citizens, civil society, and media hold government accountable between elections through advocacy, journalism, public interest litigation, and community monitoring of public projects. Key accountability institutions in Nigeria: EFCC investigates and prosecutes economic and financial crimes by public officials. ICPC focuses on anti-corruption in the public sector. The Auditor General for the Federation audits federal government accounts. State houses of assembly, legislative oversight of state governments. Citizens are not passive recipients of governance, they are the ultimate source of governmental authority and the primary enforcers of accountability. How students and young citizens can promote transparency and accountability: use the Freedom of Information Act to request information about public projects in your community, attend public budget hearings. The federal and state governments are required to hold public consultations on the annual budget, monitor community projects. If a road is being constructed, observe whether the work meets standards, Report corruption to the EFCC on their toll-free line 0800, call EFCC 0800-2255-3322, or via their website. Engage with your National Assembly and State House of Assembly representatives through letters, petitions, or constituency meetings. Use social media responsibly to share accurate information about government accountability failures and successes. Participate in civil society organizations that conduct transparency and accountability advocacy. The #EndSARS movement of October 2020 demonstrated how young Nigerians can use peaceful civic action to demand accountability from government. The protest led to the disbandment of SARS and significant policy discussions on police reform. Today we covered that good governance is participatory, accountable, transparent, responsive, equitable, inclusive, effective, and rule-bound. Transparency means government operates openly and publishes information about spending and decisions, backed in Nigeria by the Freedom of Information Act 2011. Accountability means power holders must answer for their actions, through elections, institutional checks, and social accountability by citizens and media. Civic tools include FOIA requests, budget hearings, community project monitoring, EFCC reporting, and engagement with elected representatives. For your civic exercise, research what your local government spent on community infrastructure last year using a Freedom of Information request or by consulting publicly available budget documents. Share your findings with your class.